Well, the Cards found a way to lose that one, to say the least. Welcome on into the Cards Companion. Roll the intro. It's a new intro this week. Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on into the Cards Companion. I am your host, Josh, joined by my fabulous co-host, James. Well, we got some things to talk about, James. We got some concerns here. Virginia, they win 30-27 in overtime. Just give me your initial thoughts. Let's start the bleeding.
Okay, so I was at this game, sadly. Let's start with that. So this was an odd game because it was kind of the inverse of how the years went. Because so up to this point, we had started slow in every single game we played outside of the EKU game. In this game, your defense comes out and they allow a first down, but they get Virginia off the field. The offense had some issues on second down. They were on first down. They were able to get the second short, but they weren't able to do this convert on second. They weren't able to convert on second and short often, but they were moving down the ball down the field until they got it 4th and 1 or just over
The
50.
offense having issues is an understatement.
Well, the first drive, yeah, but the first drive they looked a lot better than they had in the first quarters throughout the year. They looked similar to that fourth quarter against Pitt.
You still didn't look good.
No, on 4th and 1, it wasn't even a yard. It was like 6 feet. You run a toss pass where, don't get me wrong, it would have worked if it was caught, but it bounces off the face of Isaac Brown, and Virginia runs it back. The offense was able to get the ball back and move it down the field and tie it. But that was
let's talk about that 4th and 1 real quick. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. We're getting full into this. So I have never seen that play work in major college football.
I agree.
Where it's less than a yard and a pitch. To the weak side, might I add. To the weak freaking side. A pitch to the weak side when you're on the left hash on a less than 1. I've never seen it work. On top of that, I don't know what Isaac Brown was doing. I get the guy's hurt. But, dude, it just hit him in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you need less than a yard. Just put Moss under center and just push him over the goddamn line of scrimmage. We see it every Sunday for a reason. We saw it on Saturday, and guess what? It worked. I don't get the play call there. There's nothing in my mind where I look at that and say, hey, this is a good idea. We've seen that time and time again where coaches try to do it. It doesn't work because all you need is one guy on the outside and the play's blown up.
An example of 4th and 1, Louisville had another one where they scored on 4th and 1 inside the 1 on the first touchdown run. But Virginia had multiple 4th and 1s, and they ran the same play on every single one of them. It was that motion halfback direct snap, and they were able to run up and get 3 yards each time. And you knew what was happening because they ran it 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. And this is a Jeff Brohm, Brian Brohm issue. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over from you. I don't understand the short game play calling and the time management because it's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. You call that position completely different how you call from every single position. And the problem for Jeff is those positions are highlighted where idiots like me get on YouTube and we think we know everything because those are big plays always.
I agree. And here's the thing about the first quarter. You get out of the first quarter 7-7, and if that would have been it and you cleaned up, it would have been fine. Because you left the first quarter thinking you were 2 touchdowns better than this team. Here's the issue. It got progressively worse. Your defense, the story of this game, if we were able to pull it off, would have been Louisville wins in spite of the offense. The defense kept them in this game.
That's been the theme all season.
Don't get me wrong. The people that are like the offensive fans, they're going to say, well, the defense couldn't get off the field in 3rd down. They fixed that in the second half. I think Virginia was like 1 of 8 on 3rd down in the second half. The only issue is in the 3rd quarter, Louisville's offense had less than 20 yards and a pick six. And that pick six was when you're at the near the 50-yard line on a 3rd and 4, where you should have just took the sack and punted the ball and played the field position, because Virginia had not been able to move the ball in 2 quarters.
I can't be mad at the defense for the Saturday performance, because at the end of the day, this Virginia offense was averaging 35 plus a game. They were a top 10 statistical offense going into this game. Louisville's defense gave up 16 points.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be mad at that.
Only 7 on a long field.
Again, I mean, and that has been the theme of this season. The defense is getting it done, and because of Miller Moss, we're giving up points. Miller Moss has given points to the defense the past 3 games.
Stat I would like to see is a comparison of the short fields given to the defense this year compared to last year, because we gave JMU like 4 short fields, and there's a couple times the defense just got 3 and outs, but I think both of their touchdowns were off of a short field.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at, or keep going with the. I'm sorry, just keep going with the game rundown. Let's talk about just overview.
First of all, I don't want to talk just in general bad about the offense. The one guy I will refuse to let anybody talk bad about, Chris Bell, was the only reason that offense was able to move the ball in that first half. And here's the annoying part. We all knew at some point they were going to start double teaming Chris Bell. So me and you were talking during the game, we're like, Colin Lacey. Well, after they started double teaming Chris Bell, they threw to Colin Lacey twice. He was open. They just weren't throwing the ball to him.
No, I mean, the quarterback, he can't make multiple reads. It's hard. It's hard.
And people have talked about the offensive line. Don't get me wrong, offensive line still has issues.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: it's hard to block for 7 to 8 seconds.
And that is my, and oh my goodness, that is my biggest thing. Is the offensive line good right now? No, they're not.
In Virginia, against Virginia, they allowed sacks, but here's the issue: they weren't like they were getting beat. They were blocking, and instead of looking down the field, his head was down, looking around like where he was looking to run. It wasn't looking to pass it, but he had a pocket. It was just he came off his first read and he didn't look anymore. That was the issue.
If you were to guess right now, do you know very much about PFF?
I haven't looked at it recently. But yeah, in the past I've looked at it.
Right now, through 5 games, would you guess is Louisville's offensive line grading at an average, above average, or below average?
I think the guy's ranked like 80 or 90th in the country right now, don't they?
I don't think we're that low on a national. I don't know. We're not that low on a national.
I'd say average.
Put it this way: we're ranked 9th in the ACC currently.
I would say average.
Yeah, we're at an average. We are at a statistical average per PFF for the offensive line play. I can't sit here in good faith and continue to blame the offensive line when, exactly like you pointed out, we're taking 6 seconds to read one guy.
And another thing about the line, I'm not defending them by any chance. They have had issues this
I'm not either. Yeah, I'm not either.
Run blocking was even good. You didn't run for much, but most of the running plays, the hole was there. Isaac Brown was tripping over his own feet, though, and falling. That happened a couple times where the hole would open up and Isaac would trip.
Mm-hmm.
The outside zone run looks real good. You saw that when the second half first started with Keon Brown. But offensive line's coming along. We knew they would. They have ever since we were able to get O-line coach in here 3 or 4 years ago. The issue is the pass blocking is not going to get any better, because you can't ask the best offensive line in the NFL to block 7, 8 seconds, because they're going to allow a sack.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's a multifaceted issue where I don't think the offensive line is good enough at this current point in time, but at the same time, they're average. If you had a competent quarterback in the backfield, I don't think you would be ranting and raving about the offensive line right now.
I'm gonna say something, and some people are not gonna like it. If you have Tyler Shuck back there, no one's saying anything about this offense.
No, if you
In
had
this
Jack
offense,
Plummer back there, I mean, I'm at that point in time where I can only, and again, this is not the I Hate Miller Moss show. This
no.
is not that show at all. But the quarterback play has been that bad.
Well, and the issue with it is all that we were promised and told all off season is he got high football IQ. He's coming from the Lincoln Riley quarterback tree. He's going to be fine. He's going to gel the offense. He just hasn't been able to learn the offense. You see issues. There's multiple times Saturday. It's week 6 that you're taking timeouts just because you don't like the play call and you don't know how to check to the next play.
Yeah.
Or
The,
you're confused by a coverage on a base 4-3 man scheme, and you don't know how to check to your audible.
so since we're just going full on into the Miller Moss talk, because by God, what else is there to talk about? What's maddening about Miller Moss is his stats are good. I mean, they're that you want to cut down on the interceptions, but I mean, other than that, the stats are good. It's just his decision making is so poor. It is some of the worst decision making I've ever seen.
Highlight of this is Pittsburgh. If you put Pittsburgh and Virginia games up on your TV, in Pittsburgh, there's one drive where there was 4 different passes that were pick sixable balls until he finally actually threw the pick six on the 5th time. Against Virginia, it's becoming a common theme that our receivers are turning into DBs whenever the ball's thrown.
Uh-huh.
There's a play where Skinner was 10 yards open down the field, and he underthrew the ball by 15 yards, and Skinner had to come back to it and shove their safety to avoid a pick.
And something I've noticed about Moss, and it's just all encapsulating at this point. He takes forever to make his read, and what he likes to do is he likes to step up in the pocket. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Step up in the pocket. In the process of stepping up into the pocket, he goes so far up into the pocket, he's on the center's butt, and he's consistently throwing off his forward momentum onto his forward foot. That's causing you to I'm almost cursed. I'm sorry. That's what's causing you to tunnel these balls right there. Just set your feet, throw the dang football. And on top of that, he moves so far up into the pocket. Miller Moss could legitimately have like 300 rushing yards right now.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to touch on is teams know have keyed in on Miller's tendencies. They're giving him 10 yards. There's multiple times Saturday that Virginia on play actions, they didn't bite down because they knew they were going to pass the ball. And Miller Moss would run straight to the line of scrimmage and stop. And even though the first down was right there. And multiple times, 2 plays later, we'd be punting.
And what's so frustrating to me about it is it's not all on Miller, man. Have you watched very much Georgia football this year?
I have.
Gunnar Stockton is not a mobile quarterback at all. Gunnar Stockton has a lot of very similar tendencies to Miller Moss, where he likes to go far up into that pocket. You know what Kirby and their coaching staff started telling Gunnar Stockton?
What?
Run the ball. And guess what? Gunnar Stockton ran for 50-plus yards this past week because he was given the same exact situation, and he just ran the ball. I don't know why. I don't know if it's we're not telling Miller to do that. I don't know if it's Miller's not comfortable moving the ball down the field. I don't know what it is. But this whole situation is not working at all. I mean, I just point blank, if you had a Jack Plummer, which, my God, have we come full circle on Jack Plummer. I'm sorry for the mean things I said about you, Jack. I am very sorry. If we had a Jack Plummer, this football team is undefeated right now in the top 15.
Oh, I completely agree. If you have Tyler, I don't mean to keep bringing up past guys, but this team, you're probably going in. You might not be the favorite against Miami, but you're going in like because with the skill, we said it all year. Skill position wise, you could probably put our a running back room, wide receiver room up against anybody in the conference. It's just it's a waste. I hate to say it's a waste of time, but it is. It's a waste of time whenever you don't got somebody that can get on the ball.
I mean, I got Chris Bell here on Saturday, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Chris Bell's working himself into a high draft pick. He's had himself a heck of a year, and you still, with that production, you still can't get it done. And I get it. The running back production is a little iffy right now due to injuries. I get all that. But man, that is no excuse at this point. It's bad quarterback play. And this is the question this is the $1 million question for me. Okay? Because I'm starting to notice a pattern here. I'm a big pattern guy. Pattern recognition. So Miller Moss is struggling. He looks worse than what he did at SC, to be completely honest. He just looks worse. And you have a quarterback room that has about legitimately 7 guys in it in your
Mhm.
quarterback room.
Yeah.
We're not seeing any of those guys step up in this situation, even when they're seeing the field against teams like Eastern and Bowling Green. They're not really stepping up. Is there an issue with quarterback development on this coaching staff?
I think you got to start considering it. And you can't keep going back and saying no. They had Tyler. Tyler was a guy that went to Oregon and then went to Texas Tech. 2 very dynamic passing offenses. So he came in with a very high football IQ. There wasn't really much to develop with Tyler. He was more of a product that was ready to go as soon as he started. You saw that last year. Plummer, when he got there, there was issues. It's not as much as this year, but there was issues. This year, not even just Miller, but just even the backups and third strings. You're seeing guys not progress; they keep regressing. Like the promise that we were hearing throughout the summer, you're not seeing whenever guys get chances on the field.
Yeah. And that's kind of my big issue here is I think, granted, it's a different day and age with NIL. I get that. I totally get that. We just had the Arch Manning conversation on the other show. Go check it out. It's different day and age with NIL. I know there's a lot of money invested into Moss. I feel like at a certain point, you need to seriously start considering maybe transitioning a backup more into the game plan if needed. But if you're not feeling comfortable enough about your backups, then what's happening? Because you have now brought in back to back highly regarded freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and these are guys that, they were either high 3, low 4s. They got all the ranting and raving from the typical on 3, Elite 11, that circle of people. And you're not seeing them. And that is concerning to me. That is very concerning. If you don't feel comfortable enough with those guys, then why? Like what is happening to where you don't feel comfortable?
I want this. My next statement, I think, encompasses my thoughts on the quarterback situation this year. I miss Harrison Bailey. I wish we could have got him this year. If Harrison was the starting quarterback, I think you're undefeated still.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Harrison, he did impress me in the Sun Bowl, but I wouldn't go quite that far personally. I just I'm very, very concerned about the quarterback position going forward. And this is a situation I never thought we'd be in. I never thought we'd be here, but here we are. Okay, that's fine. All right, bringing it back around though. Little technical difficulties from James, so he's lost video feed, so you're gonna be looking at my pretty face the rest of the time. You had a win expectancy average of 90%. This game, the reason why it concerns me so much is we keep seeing this from Jeff Brohm. You keep seeing these games where you just beat yourself. And guess what, brother? These are the games why you're not in the college football playoff discussion.
This game, this second half reminded me a lot of last year's Stanford game, where it felt like everything was right in front of you, and you just couldn't take it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just there's only so much you can say. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Chandler Morris he threw for less than 150 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Their running backs ran for less than 70 yards. I mean, like you outgained these fools by 150 yards and you still lost. I mean, just going down the stat line here. 26 first downs compared to Virginia's 14s. You had less penalties than them. You were better on third down than them. You dominated the time of possession. You had 5 more minutes time of possession. But do you know why you lose, James? Do you know why you lose these football games?
You give them 14 points the other
Because
way.
you have a quarterback that keeps throwing the ball away into pick sixes because he can't learn to take a sack or he can't run forward. That's why you lose these football games. And I get it, man. I'm not trying to do the toxic fan base thing. I'm not trying to do the bench Biller Moss thing. Not trying to do any of that because the kid has room to grow. The staff has room to grow. The season ain't over. As statistically impossible as it seems, you still have a chance to make the ACC championship game with a win against Miami.
That's the crazy thing, and I want to touch on that as more of an optimistic. As bad as it feels right now, if you are able to go down to Coral Gables and beat Miami, the atmosphere around this team completely changes. But the issue is, you're going to have to.
Does it though?
I think in the short term it does. I think you're going to have to. Here's the weird thing about this bye week: the running backs need it to get healthy. The defense is going to continue to improve on already a top 15 defense, even though the defense is really good. I
was going to say, I don't know what else more the defense can do.
Listen, I can't talk better about our pass defense. Like Tavon Holloway's progressively gotten better throughout the year. He made a couple of good pass breakups. And
Hutchinson's is looking better. I mean, they're just yeah.
I think offensively, I don't think it's a practice issue. I think you really need to get into the mentality and the mental of Miller, because in moments you see that he's got it. There's something with him. It's like there's a mental block in the. He just needs to be able to trust his legs, and he needs to have like a mental clock. Get the ball out within 4 to 5 seconds. For your first read ain't there in 1 to 2. Go to your second read, and he hasn't been able to do that all year.
And the issue being is that mental block, that is so much harder to get over than a physical block from a coaching perspective, at least. This is the nightmare scenario for Louisville football under Jeff Brohm. This is fully, because I look at it, you can't blame the defense anymore. You can't blame the skill positions. This is 100% and fully on the quarterback position. Just, it is what it is, and you got to get over it. You have to. And luckily for you, you got probably one of the best defenses you played in the past 5 years you're going up against in your next game. That's coming off a bye also. Boy, oh boy.
A short preview, because we're going to have a more in-depth preview next week. I think the only to be able to stay in the game with Miami, you're going to have a running game. I think the matter, you want to run the ball for over 20 attempts and have 100 to 150 rushing yards. You haven't really shown the ability to do that since JMU. And 78 yards of that against JMU was on one run. So really just EKU. You've had issues running the ball since EKU.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to hold off on the Miami thing. Miami terrifies me because they thrive on making the quarterback make bad decisions. That's the really good thing. And if they're not doing that, you got Ruben Bain running full speed at your quarterback, which good luck. Good luck with that. But yeah, this is nightmare scenario time for Louisville. You got to figure out the quarterback because there are no more excuses. And you know, the one mental image that I cannot get out of my head this season, James.
What is it?
The end of the James Madison game. Louisville's up by 10 points. And the defense is on the field. And there's about a minute left. And Ron English has to call timeout to readjust his set. James Madison was in the red zone. So he calls time, he burns timeout, readjusts the set. I think he was in like a 5, and he readjusts to a 4, which, whatever. Good use of your timeouts. I'm glad somebody's using your timeouts. And Jeff Brohm just getting in wrong English's butt about having to change sets and blowing a timeout. And Ron English looking at Jeff and pointing at the scoreboard. That mental image will not get out of my head for the rest of the season. Because this isn't, and again, this is not the Toxic Fan Show. This is not the Fire Jeff Brohm Show. We're not doing that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But we've seen it consistently for the past 2 seasons of blame being shifted to the defense, and rightfully so when it was earned. You can't do that anymore. That's over. This is, we got to look at ourselves. This is a legitimate gut check to how this program is being ran. Because, and I'm making a lot of assumptions here, and you know what they say about assumptions. In my opinion, when I look at the offense, it is clear to me that proper quarterback development is not happening across the board. And if that is the case, you need to make changes on your staff.
Yeah.
And you need to get somebody in there into a coordinator position that is actually hands-on. Along with that, man, the clock management has been Mario Cristobal levels bad. I don't know where this has came from. That's not typical of a Jeff Brohm offense. I genuinely think, I think it was Rutherford put out a tweet about it during the game. You could have the average Madden player on the sidelines calling timeouts, doing clock management. You'd have more success right now.
Yeah. A big issue in the Virginia game was they got the ball back with like a minute 22 left in the first half, and they only needed like 30 yards to get in field goal range. And I think they only had 4 offensive plays. They had 2 timeouts when they got the ball. Don't get me wrong, you got it in your field goal range, and there was a muff snap, and you missed a kick. But you should have been able to do a little bit more with that time and your timeouts than we were able to manage.
Yeah. Do you think this is an interesting thought experiment? Do you think they're calling offense around Miller's limitations?
I think there had been signs of that, and if you just compare the play calling from the past 2 years to now, or even go back to Jeff's Purdue days, it seems like a more simplified offense. Like there's not as much room for decision making after the snap. Like it seems like if play calls meant for one read and one read only, due to Miller's
And we're still struggling with that.
yeah. It kind of feels like they've dumbed it down a little bit, and I hate to say that, dude. I think Miller's having issues with the language of the playbook, and he's not knowing where the ball needs to go out or when it needs to go out. And I think that is making the offensive line look worse because on plays that sometimes are designed to go to the flat, he's looking 20 yards down the field.
I don't know. It's this is one of those situations. It's hard to talk about without sounding, I'm gonna keep using that word, toxic. It's hard to talk about it like that. Because it's so out of the norm on what Jeff Brohm has built his career on. And, you know, I'll be point blank about it. Out of the past 3 transfer quarterbacks that we've gotten, Miller Moss was the one that was hyped up to me personally the most. And it is the exact opposite of that. So I don't know where you go from here. I think obviously the correct answer is, oh, well, you try to beat Miami. I don't know how realistic that is. And what do you consider a good season with the amount of money that you're spending on the roster? Me personally, I mean, you're spending a lot of money right now, and you should be expected to really be in that college football playoff conversation.
Yeah.
And that does not look realistic at this point in time.
Well, there's a lot of question marks. I think it's going to be really hard. It's going to take a lot of things happening to even have a chance at Miami. But here's the thing about you still have one of the weaker schedules remaining in ACC.
True.
Like you're going,
You still have to play SMU and Clemson. which,
Just
and
play
I
it.
know they're not who you think they are, but those are
Yeah,
still 2 good
those
7+1 teams.
those are still 2 teams that both can get you, especially SMU when you have to go to SMU late in the year, sandwiched in between Clemson and Kentucky. Um, but you have time to figure it out. You have no more buys. So now it's all hands on deck the rest of the way. Every week you're hurt, you better play. Um, this is your last chance to figure it out. After Miami, you get a little bit drop off in competition for a few weeks in between Miami and Clemson. You get, I don't want to highlight too much, but in a long term time frame situation, you get Boston College, California. Am I missing somebody in between those two?
Boston, Cal,
Yeah.
and Virginia Tech.
So those are 3 games that you should be two touchdown to 3 touchdown favorites in all 3 of those ball games.
I don't think you are.
Who against
I'll tell
Virginia
you right now,
or Cal?
against Cal and Virginia Tech. If you look at Vegas this season, man, they've actually been really keyed in on Louisville and their offensive struggles. Look at the over-unders specifically, and they've been very point and key of, hey, Louisville's going to win a lot of games by not very many points.
Yeah. Well, we saw that begin before the year where they projected us to have 8 one-score win games on out of a 12-game situation where going in, we felt like the first 3 games we should have won handily, and we outside of the first game, we really didn't. In
Mm-hmm.
it the whole glaring issue for me was the Bowling Green game, not to touch back on that. That was a game where you should have been able to really fix your offensive issues and work through it. You were able to show some promise in the deep passing game, but like the similar issues to what you saw in Virginia, Miller's running up to the line of scrimmage and just stopping whenever there's 20 yards right there to run.
Yeah. It's I hate saying it. It's just one of those situations. I don't know, man. I just loss of words, and that's partial why reason why we pushed off. Yeah, we pushed off this video a couple of days. We didn't do a post game space because it's just loss of words at this point. Where just figure it out, man. Just figure it out because you have the defense to do it. You got the skill positions to do it. It's still obtainable. As crazy as it sounds, it's still obtainable. But you got to make some drastic changes to how you're calling offense.
Yeah, we put the video off because we didn't want to be too overly critical and say anything in the moment. Saturday, we were all pretty emotional. It was one of those games where I think we can all agree you left that game thinking we should have beat this and won this game by 21 points with the amount we outgained them, the amount the offense was on the field, the way the defense played, and somehow you didn't lead for any of that game. You led for zero. Well, you led in overtime, but you didn't.
No, that's not true. Louisville, they led.
No, we didn't lead until
Shit, you're right. They
yeah,
did.
we
They
never
didn't lead
led.
once.
No, not until over
God.
7:24.
Oh, that's hurt. Yeah, I didn't. I was just looking at my score chart here, and I'm like, no, we led. I'm like, oh no, we didn't. We never once.
That's the thing, though. It felt like we were ahead the whole first half because we dominated offensively.
Man, now I'm just more angry.
Yeah, because we it felt like a game we dominated, but somehow we weren't ahead because we kept giving them touchdowns with the scoop and score and the pick six.
Yeah, that's sorry. I just had my mind blown there for a second. Oh boy, boy, oh boy. James, you got anything else to add about this Virginia game?
I think that's it. That's another time where Virginia. Don't get me wrong, Virginia consistently puts themselves in spots where they're close enough to be able to take advantage of other teams fitting themselves. Um, Louisville beat themselves and shot themselves in the foot constantly in that second half, and play calling philosophy seriously needs to be questioned and fixed before Miami, or it's going to be a bad night in Coral Gables.
Yeah, I think my closing thoughts are the defense showed up, the fans showed up, but the offense and the quarterback position did not show up. And something's got to change. If you want to have a successful season, something has to change. But with that being said, James, I think that's going to wrap us up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the delay on the video. Just one of those things. Please check out the channel. We have a lot of great content this week. We have All Around the South coming out same day as this show, so go check that out when you're done with this one. We also have a fun UFL video coming out later this week, talking a little bit of Louisville Kings. It's gonna be a fun league. We got some national UFL guys coming on. They're gonna talk a little bit about the league, what we should expect as Louisville Kings fans, all that fun stuff. Other than that, though, please share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give us a comment. Let me know. Let me know honestly your thoughts on this game. I'd love to see it in the comment section.
Oh,
Uh,
something that we haven't posted yet. I'm gonna post tomorrow after this video comes out. In the Cardinal Companion Top 25, we have a new number one team in the country.
nope.
The Miami,
Oh,
the Miami Hurricanes take it over.
yeah. If it were me right now, by the way, I'm setting that line at like 17.5 Miami.
Oh no.
But again, guys, thank you all so much. Please continue to thank you for your continued patronage, and we'll catch you all next time. Next week, same time or different time, same place. We'll be a little bit earlier in the week previewing Miami. But catch you all around and go Cards.
Your cards.